Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos receives a written message from His Excellency the President of France, handed over to His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said. Greetings of His Excellency the President of South Africa to His Majesty the Sultan are conveyed by Her Excellency the Minister of Defense and Military Veterans when she was received by His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said. And the application of education programs and curricula in private schools are discussed in a forum. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has received a cable of thanks from the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, in reply to His Majesty's cable of condolences on the death of Her Royal Highness Princess Nouf bint Badr bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. His Majesty the Sultan also received a cable of thanks from His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi of Egypt, in reply to His Majesty's cable of greetings on the 6th of October anniversary. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos received a written message from His Excellency President François Hollande of France. The message was handed over to His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, when he received today His Excellency Ronald de Bertrand, Ambassador of the Republic of France accredited to the Sultanate, who conveyed greetings of the French President and his good wishes to His Majesty the Sultan and the government with more progress and prosperity. He also conveyed thanks of the government of France on the Sultanate's efforts in releasing French hostages in the region and on the existing cooperation between the two friendly countries in many fields. The meeting touched upon means of supporting joint cooperation in addition to exchanging viewpoints on a number of current issues and developments in the international arena. His Highness Sayyid Fahd also conveyed His Majesty's good wishes to the French President, government and nation of continuous progress. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, received today Her Excellency Nosiviu Nolathando Mapisa Nkola, Minister of Defense and Military Veterans in the Republic of South Africa, who is on an official several-day visit to the Sultanate. Her Excellency conveyed greetings of His Excellency President Dr. Jacob Zuma of South Africa and his good wishes to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the Omani government and citizens with more progress and prosperity. His Highness Sayyid Fahd hailed the existing relations between the two friendly countries. Her Excellency the African guest expressed her country's appreciation to the wise policy adopted by the Sultanate under the leadership of His Majesty the Sultan in dealing with regional and international developments. She also expressed her gratitude for this visit, which enabled her and the delegation accompanying her to acquaint with the comprehensive progress witnessed by the Sultanate, stressing on the importance of the talks she held with His Excellency the Minister responsible for Defense Affairs and officials at the Ministry within the framework of strengthening bonds of fruitful cooperation between the two countries. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud Al Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, and His Excellency Longil Christian Papani, Ambassador of the Republic of South Africa to the Sultanate. Reviewing the march of bilateral relations binding the Sultanate and South Africa was the center of discussions between His Excellency General Sultan bin Mohammed Al Nu'mani, Minister of the Royal Office, and Her Excellency Nosiviu Nolathando Mapisa Nkola, Minister of Defense and Military Veterans in the Republic of South Africa, and her accompanying delegation. The two sides discussed several topics of concern to the two friendly countries and means of enhancing them in all fields to serve the joint interests, in addition to touching on several issues of common concern. A session of talks was held in Muscat today between the Sultanate and South Africa on the existing military cooperation between the two countries. The Omani side was presided over by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud bin Harib al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, and the South African side by Her Excellency Nosiviwe Nolathando Mapisa-Nkola, Minister of Defense and Military Veterans, who is currently visiting the Sultanate. The two sides reviewed the good relations between the two countries, stressing their keenness on enhancing cooperation to serve the interests of the two friendly countries. The session was attended from the Omani side by Lieutenant General Ahmed bin Harith al-Nabhani, Chief of Staff of the Sultan's Armed Forces, and Major General Matar bin Salim al-Blushi, Commander of the Royal Army of Oman, whilst it was attended from the South African side by Lunjil Christian Papani, Ambassador of the Republic of South Africa to the Sultanate, and the delegation accompanying the guest. His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal al-Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of Royal Court, received in his office today His Excellency Farouk Mahmoud Qaddour, Ambassador of the Syrian Arab Republic to the Sultanate, and His Excellency Ogor Dogan, Ambassador of the Republic of Turkey to the Sultanate, to bid them farewell at the end of their tours of duties as their country's ambassadors to the Sultanate. The meetings exchanged cordial conversations and reviewed bilateral relations between the Sultanate and their countries. The two ambassadors expressed their thanks for the cooperation extended to them during the period of their duties in the Sultanate, which had enabled them to carry out their duties An official source at the Foreign Ministry stated that upon the royal orders of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos to continue providing duty to brothers in Yemen, the Sultanate received a new batch of wounded Yemenis to receive medical treatment in hospitals of the Sultanate. They were taken from Sana'a to Muscat aboard a flight by the Royal Air Force of Oman. And in implementation of the royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said to meet a request by the U.S. government to continue to assist it about its citizens in custody in Yemen, and after coordination with the concerned authorities in Sana'a, an American was released today and transferred to the Sultanate aboard the same flight by the Royal Air Force of Oman in preparation for his return to his country. The U.S. government expressed its sincere appreciation and gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos on the efforts he exerted to help secure the return of the American citizen who was in custody in Yemen. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Omani Water Society organizes a seminar in the Wilaya of Qurayat on seawater springs in the Sultanate. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. A forum on investment in private education was organized in the Governorate of Muscat. It came to focus on the application of education programs and curricula in private schools, as well as encourage investment in this field. The participants in the forum discussed a number of topics related to benefiting from international expertise and the development of the quality of private education. The Municipal Council in the Governorate of Muscat discussed a number of topics in its meeting. The Authority for Electricity Regulation stressed before the Council that the complaints on the increase in electricity bills are taken in consideration. It also clarified that there are no plans for removal of subsidy on electricity, while confirming that the Omanization percentage in the sector reached 64%. The meeting also discussed the regulation regarding the organization of sale of potable water. It also reviewed the matter of organizing the accommodation of government and private college students in the governorate of Muscat. The council further focused on some amendments in regulations related to construction. His Excellency Engineer Mohammed bin Abdullah Al-Naimi, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Transport and Communications for Transport, told Oman News Agency that the cooperation agreement between the Sultanate's government and the United Arab Emirates government in the field of land transport for passengers and goods comes from the excellent bilateral relations and common concerns between both countries, aiming to facilitate the procedures of goods and passengers transfer in all types of transport, in addition to find a suitable mechanism for the Oman national transport to the UAE, which in turn will organize and facilitate the road transport operation from UAE to ply inside Omani lands. His Excellency Engineer, the Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Transport and Communications for Transport, stressed that both sides agreed on finding unified mechanism of transportation while enter and exit between both countries, or for a third partner with specific restrictions, in addition to facilitate procedures to passengers and their luggage crossing commercial goods and transport vehicles between both countries, in addition to allow the transport company to establish offices or to hire representatives according to the laws of both countries. In order to spread regulatory awareness and instill the concept of auditing in the society, the state's financial and audit institution organized a seminar highlighting the role of the institution in protecting the public money and preserving the nation's resources. During the seminar, terms of reference and powers of the institution were discussed, in addition to organizing a visual show for its website, briefing the clarity of reports and complaints window and how the citizens can communicate with the institution, besides providing applications of smartphones on reaching the premises of the institution in the Governorate of Muscat or its branches at the governorates. The decision of the Ministry of Manpower on amending the fees for expatriate workers' recruitment, labor permits and renewal for 2 years was seen right or just by many for its organizational and economic benefits. As per the decision, the fees for the recruitment, work permit and registration of the workers at the company businesses will be 301 Omani Riyals. As for special category workers such as domestic workers and their equivalent, the fees for the recruitment, work permit and registration of workers of this category will be 141 Riyals. This decision came after an actual study which pointed out that expatriate manpower are significantly benefiting from the services provided to them by the government. The statistics show that around 2 million of the expatriate manpower are employed in various jobs, as some are chairmen and directors in a number of institutions. According to the statistics, more than 2 billion Omani Riyals is the volume of expatriate remittances during the first half of the current year. Her Excellency Noziviu Nolathando Mapisan Kola, Minister of Defense and Military Veterans in the Republic of South Africa, and her accompanying delegation visited this morning the Sultan Armed Forces Museum. Her Excellency toured in the museum and reviewed Omani historical manuscripts and statues, which considered as symbols of Omani architecture art in Beit al-Falaj Fort. They were also briefed about developments at Sultan Armed Forces under the prosperous era of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the Supreme Commander of the Sultan Armed Forces. The graduation ceremony in 2016 was held at Sur College of Applied Sciences. It was presided over by His Excellency Nasser bin Sulaiman Al-Sibani, Deputy Chairman of the Public Authority for Radio and Television. More details in the following report by Sultan bin Saif Al-Sarai.
After years of dedication and hard work, the day which all these graduates are waiting, and the dream of every single one of them since the beginning, is finally here. The graduation day, that no one knows how it feels except these graduates, and the day where they reap what they sow in their academic life.
Now, as a graduated student, I'm planning to find a job because any new student should first of all find a new job, like build themselves in the job field.
Around 130 students from 3 majors graduated with bachelor degree and more than 10 graduated with diplomas. They are happy and enthusiastic to start their professional life and proud of their big achievement.
First of all, this week I will make it as a rest. Then I will sit with myself and consider it. In my head, there is a plan to continue my study, inshallah.
In my future plan now, I am working as a receptionist in Al-Jahad Medical Clinic. And now I'm searching for a job in any media organization. So I hope to get one job, inshallah.
Since they have finished one of the most significant levels in their lives, some of them are thinking to continue their studies, some are planning to establish their own business, and others are ready to join some institutions in the Sultanate.
Well, I'm very happy about my graduation. It's a day of hard work that we work through 5 years in this college. I'm overwhelmed. I cannot express my feeling. It is the most happiest moment I think I passed it in my life.
Sur College of Applied Sciences is part of 6 colleges of applied sciences allocated in different governorates, and it teaches 3 main majors, namely mass communication, information technology, and applied biotechnology. So here is a new batch of graduates from 3 different majors, and they are completely ready to join the labor market and help to sustain the Omani development. Sultan bin Saif al-Sarai from Sur College of Applied Sciences, South Al-Sharqiyya Governorate.
With increasing demand for water as a result of fast development, search for alternatives became a necessity. Omani Water Society organized a seminar on seawater springs in the Sultanate of Oman. The seminar was held in the Wilaya of Qurayat under the auspices of His Excellency Sayyid Saud bin Hilal al-Busaidi, Minister of State and Governor of Dhafar, with the presence of a number of their excellencies at concerned ministries, experts and specialists from inside and outside the Sultanate. The 2-day seminar discusses 20 research papers presented by experts from different countries. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate, clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates with chances of low clouds and fog early morning and late at night on the coastal areas of South Sharqiyya and Wusta. Winds will be northeasterly light or moderate on the coastal areas of the Sea of Oman, while on the rest of the coasts it will be northwesterly light or moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos receives a written message from His Excellency the President of France, handed over to by His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed. Greetings of His Excellency the President of South Africa to His Majesty the Sultan are conveyed by Her Excellency the Minister of Defense and Military Veterans when she was received by His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed. And the application of education programs and curricula in private schools are discussed in a forum. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.